Welcome to Badminton Unlimited, your weekly access to badminton action and beyond. This week, we spend some time with Canada's leading lady, Michelle Lee, as she talks about raising the profile of the game in her country. And we report on the development of the sport in the paradise nation of the Maldives. She's a Commonwealth Games gold medalist. She's the face of badminton in Canada. She's the most successful female badminton player in her country. Michelle Lee is hoping to use her fame to raise the profile of the sport in her nation.
I think one of my goals is, as a badminton player in Canada, is just to help the sport as well, because it's such a small sport in Canada, and I want to share what I feel with the sport with everyone else, and I feel like to do that I have to bring attention to the sport, and I think that comes with results, and that's one of the things that motivate me to train really hard and to fight whenever I'm on court.
Michelle's badminton journey began when her mother took her to a local community centre in her home province of Ontario when she was just 11 years old. Although she excelled, it only became a serious pursuit after she attended her first international tournament in Europe.
I think what got me really into it was my first international tournament when I was 17. I went to Swiss Open, and I was just there to watch the All Englands and the Swiss Open. And just seeing all the professional players and all the Asian players and all the top players, that's when I realized I wanted to be like them.
As a junior, she won the silver medal at the 2008 Commonwealth Youth Games. 3 years later, in her first year on the senior circuit, Michelle grabbed gold at the Pan Am Games in both the women's singles and women's doubles. In 2012, she, along with her women's doubles partner Alex Bruce, finished 4th at the London Olympics, Canada's best ever Olympic result in badminton.
I guess I always focus more on singles. I only train singles, but Alex played doubles, and I guess I committed to her to play the Olympics. So then we just traveled together, and I would play singles, and I would also play doubles with her. I thought it was pretty cool how we made this. We were a hashtag. We were hashtag Bruce Lee. I thought that was pretty cool, and it was catchy.
Her exploits on the international scene began to make headlines back in Canada. 2014 was a breakthrough year for the Markham resident, as her consistent performances saw the 23-year-old reach a career high of 11th in the BWF World Rankings. She announced her status as an elite player at the Yonex All England Championships that year, as she reached the quarterfinals of the women's singles, the first Canadian to do so since 1979.
I think that was when it really hit me, just how amazing it felt to play with the top players and to be able to make it so far in such a prestigious tournament, and that just kept motivating me to want more. Next time I want to do better, and I want to make semifinals at a Super Series, and I want to consistently be able to beat the top players and just play the best that I can.
Making it to the latter stages of the All England acted as a springboard. She went on to grab her first Canada Open title in front of an elated home crowd.
It was really, really great. I don't think a Canadian has won Canada Open in a long time. And I think that was my first Grand Prix win too. So it felt really good to have the Canadians cheer for me when I was on court. And it's such a good feeling to know when I'm on court, I'm not on court alone. The audience is kind of fighting with me, they're just cheering me on. That just makes it so much easier for me to and motivate me to keep going, to fight for every single point, and that ended really well.
But her biggest prize was to come in Glasgow in August last year. She became the first Canadian to win gold in badminton at the Commonwealth Games. Facing a raucous crowd cheering on her Scottish opponent, Kirsty Gilmore, in the final, Michelle kept her cool to take the title.
I think that I played really well that day, and I was expecting the crowd to be a lot, really loud, and I guess I was mentally prepared for the loudness. I've read in so many books, like sports psychology books and stuff, and people always tell me to stay positive, like don't put so much pressure on yourself, just to stay calm and relaxed and just do what you can, and I think that brought out the best in me. Right after when I won, I just felt this rush, and I just couldn't even stand. Like it was just, oh my God, I did it.
The Canadian ace knows there's still more work to be done if she wants to progress. If she is to compete with the best on a regular basis, the shuttler knows she needs to maintain a high level of performance at every tournament. But this is proving to be difficult, as the lone Canadian at many tournaments, and often without a coach, maintaining that consistency has been challenging.
A lot of times I travel to tournaments alone, so then I don't really get the right preparation before matches. And in like Commonwealth, that was amazing because I had a whole team with me and everyone was training together, and we had a very good preparation before we went on the court, and I think that really helps me. But then sometimes I don't have a consistent, I guess, system to follow when I'm on court, because I'm always alone at tournaments. Like all the opponents that I play, they have coaches, they have someone telling them, and I kind of have to do it on my own. But I guess it's something that I have to do. Like I can't, I guess I don't have a choice, so it's, yeah, it's a process.
Top badminton players are a rare breed in Canada, and Michelle's relentless pursuit of excellence is an inspiration to younger players. The Commonwealth champion hopes to lead by example for future generations of players in her country.
I hope what I do would encourage young aspiring athletes to continue with the sport, because I guess the generation before me, like it's very common for very talented athletes to play badminton until the age of 19, and then they go off to university and then they stop. Badminton's not that big of a sport in Canada, so they don't see any future or like potential. But I hope like what I do would encourage young junior athletes to aim for the top. That's what I hope that I can do, and that's what I hope. That's why I fight so hard to try and win tournaments and put so much time and effort into the sport.
Exciting times are ahead for badminton in Canada, and as Michelle Lee plots her way up the rankings, it is hoped that her success can help the growth of the sport. Let's test your badminton knowledge. We want to know who this person is. I was born in Japan. I represented my country in the 2014 Thomas Cup. I won my first World Superseries title this year at the OUE Singapore Open. We reveal the answer after the break. When we get back, we find out how badminton is making its mark on the island nation of the Maldives. Before the break, we asked you to name this person. I was born in Japan. I represented my country in the 2014 Thomas Cup. I won my first World Superseries title this year at the OUE Singapore Open. The answer is Kento Momota. The 20-year-old shuttler was born in the Kagawa Prefecture, Japan. He is currently ranked 8th in the world in the men's singles. He beat Hong Kong's Hu Yun to win his first World Superseries title. The triumph makes him the first Japanese men's singles player to win a World Superseries title. It is also the first time a player from his country has been successful at the Singapore Open. In the horizon of the vast Indian Ocean grow green palms. This is my homeland. This is the Maldives. From the clear blue seas, we grow like pearls. This is my homeland. This is the Maldives. Made up of nearly 1,200 coral islands, the island nation of Maldives is a favorite holiday destination for many. With its sun-kissed beaches, swaying palms, coconut trees, and tropical weather, it is, as the marketing line says, the sunny side of life. Surrounded by a vast Indian Ocean, water and beach sports are regular fixtures. And whilst the #1 sport on the island is football, badminton is quietly building its reputation. In the inaugural Indian Ocean Island Games in 1979, the Maldives national team won their first ever medal in badminton as they took silver. The administrators of the game have been building on that success ever since. Recent funding and support from the Badminton Asia Confederation has begun to produce promising talent.
Badminton Asia Confederation has this program called the ADT, which is the Asian Development Team. So the development department will actually identify potential players from these developing countries and pick them up, put it under a program. So we also subsidize them in some funding, some training, some equipment, so they can actually progress further.
One such player is Mohammad Ajfan Rashid. Badminton Unlimited caught up with the 25-year-old at the recent Badminton Asia Championships. Ajfan made headlines in his homeland when he became the first Maldivian shuttler to play at the Olympics. He also had the honor of carrying his country's flag at the London Games opening ceremony.
It was shocking, really, it was shocking because during the process I never thought I will qualify because there were a lot of players with me who really tried to qualify but they also couldn't. So it was really like a very emotional thing because I didn't know I will qualify. But I was really happy when I knew I was really going for the Olympics because it's a big thing.
Although the right-hander did not make it past the group stages, he cherishes the experience the Olympics brought him.
It was big, really huge thing because I played with the European #1 that time, I think Mark Zoibler from Germany. I played with him, so it was very big. When I went into the court, I see a lot of big crowd, also a little bit of Maldivians are there supporting me. So it was really like exciting for me. I would say I wasn't even really nervous because I just went to enjoy my game and I wanted to give all my best because I know this is my first time and I had no pressure.
Ajfan's interest in badminton took flight after watching his cousins, who were then national shuttlers, in action during a family outing. In 2006, he started to play competitively, winning several national titles. In the 2011 Indian Ocean Island Games, he took the bronze in the men's singles and in the team event. His exploits on court earned him an Olympic scholarship from the Maldives Olympic Committee in 2012, enabling him to train full-time.
Normally our players, they can't go full-time because they have to work and then play badminton. Because the badminton in Maldives, there's not much pay in it, so they can't just go for full-time badminton. We have national team practices like in the morning sometimes, and normally every day we have in the evening. So it's like they come after work, it's around 6:30, we'll start training, and until 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, the practice will go on in the night.
With a population of just under 350,000 spread across its 200 inhabited islands, searching, identifying and developing talent is a massive logistical undertaking.
In badminton we have a lot of talent, but the only problem is we have difficulty like in bringing the players to the capital because they live in far away islands. So for them it's very difficult to come and train full time. So because they have to study and everything, it's a bit costly also. So that's the only problem we are facing now.
In order to continue to hone his skills, Ajfan has had to move overseas. He is currently residing in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. For Ajfan and his teammates, it may take some time before a Maldivian can make an impact on the tightly contested world of badminton. But for this band of shuttlers, their current objectives are the elusive gold at the Indian Ocean Island Games in August and qualification for the Rio Olympics. And for Mohammad Ajfan Rashid, his dream also goes beyond the success on court.
And I think in the next 5 to 10 years, I would like to help in the coaching and plus the association side, because we need players who are very experienced so they can understand everything, so they can actually help the badminton and raise the game in the Maldives. So I hope to be there with everything.
The country faces geographical obstacles and challenges in infrastructure. But the Maldivians' love for badminton has brought them a long way. And with their continued passion for the sport and a little help, this island nation may have plenty to smile about. As this year's Sudirman Cup came to a close recently in China, thoughts turned towards the next one. The 2017 edition of the World Mixed Team Championships will be held on the Gold Coast in Australia. The city held off strong competition from Scotland and was awarded the right to host it by the BWF last year. Australia's triumph means they will become the first country outside Asia or Europe to host the tournament.
We had a very tough bid to win this host. To host the 2017 Sudirman Cup, and we are very privileged that Badminton World Federation has given us this opportunity to host this event.
We caught up with a delegation from Badminton Australia and the Gold Coast on a fact-finding mission in China.
The Gold Coast has got the opportunity and the privilege to have the 2017 Sudirman Cup at one of our venues, and it's the venue we're building for the Commonwealth Games in 2018. The Sudirman Cup will be the test event, and so we wanted to see how it actually operates at the same size venue in a different country.
This being the next the Sudirman Cup just before us, there's a lot to learn, so that we basically, are here to learn and to be able to run as good as Sudirman Cup as one can expect.
Australia, of course, is used to hosting major sporting events, including the Olympics and a number of Commonwealth Games. But the Sudirman Cup will be the biggest badminton tournament to be held in the country. The sport has specific requirements that the team are keen to understand.
All the logistics required in player movements, and warm-up areas, back of house, the actual competition area, the lightings, just every little things that we can take, even media, that we want to make sure that we cater for all parties involved in Sudirman Cup.
With the strong backing of the State Tourism Board, the Sudirman Cup will not just be about the match days, but also about what the city can offer players and fans. It is hoped that a successful tournament on and off the court will lead to further opportunities in the future.
We'd like to think all the players enjoyed their stay on the Gold Coast, which is inevitable. It's a lovely place. But I think if they have a really good experience at the venue, we may be able to invite them back for other venues, other experiences at our venue.
Australia has the pedigree to deliver top-notch events, and with the delegation already on the ground getting the know-how at this Sudirman Cup, the event in 2017 is poised to be the best so far. After the break, we catch up with one of New Zealand's top rising stars, Sally Fu. Famed for its cricket and rugby traditions, New Zealand is also setting itself up as a destination for international badminton. Now with its Sky City New Zealand Open elevated to a Grand Prix Gold event. This in turn has opened up more opportunities for budding Kiwi talent such as Sally Fu. The launch of the high-performance program by Badminton New Zealand has given the under-17 national champion a timely boost.
It just got me in the mood of training harder because they gave us a bigger opportunity, so I have a bigger goal now to strive for World Juniors. It's more experience for us, playing international players, different style, different way of thinking. It's better for us, and then we develop the idea of playing differently.
We sat down recently with the 15-year-old as she went through her paces at the Balmoral Badminton Club in Auckland. Now recognized as one of the nation's most promising shuttlers, Fu cut her teeth on the local circuit.
I started at Lord Ellesmere Junior Badminton Club around 2008. They had a program on Wednesday nights around 5 to 7. I started playing that, and then they moved me up to a higher grade, and then after that I just started playing competitive in Auckland because one of my coaches told me to come play a tournament, and they selected me for the reps, and then I started playing after that.
Still attending school full-time, the teenager has had to balance her academic responsibilities and her dedication to the sport. Although it's been hard, she has found ways to cope.
Usually I train every day, have a rest after school, and then I go training. Usually have a rest on Sunday. On court I just do multi-feeds, shot practice, and then off court I sometimes go to the gym to gain more muscles. Usually I train around 10 to 12 hours a week. I don't really have much time after school, so I just have to put some time before school, so I have to wake up earlier, start training, and then that sort of balances with school work.
She's a great junior player, but just developing her game maturity. I think it's really important that she manages her time and she gets a correct balance of training, and then she can develop into a senior player.
Fu's desire to improve her game brought her overseas as she undertook a training stint in China. Although it was only for a short while, it did give her a glimpse at the level of competition she's likely to face in the future.
Around 2 years ago, I went to China and I trained there for 1 month. It's different because the players have more skill over there. The speed is around the same, but the technique is different. They all seem to have the same technique over here, but back in New Zealand, everyone has their own technique. It's not the same.
She has since been developing at a rapid rate. Last year at the Under-17 National Championships, she was a Triple Crown winner, finishing at the top of the podiums in the singles, doubles and mixed doubles. But her highlight so far was winning the solo event at the recent June Bevan tournament held in Australia.
I guess it was Australian and New Zealand tournament, and I've never played a tournament overseas. That was the first one, and surprisingly I won it. So I'm really happy that I won that tournament. The paces in singles or doubles are really different. So before the match I have to prepare myself for singles or doubles. I've been told I'm more of a singles player than a doubles player. But when I'm older and my muscles are really sore or my bones are not good enough, I'll probably start playing doubles because it's less movement.
Administrators of the sport are keen to help the development of promising shuttlers like Fu. They are hoping to encourage more young players to take up badminton as a professional career.
What we're trying to do is educate the players that there is a career in badminton, there is an opportunity to be the best, and you can both study and train at the same time. And that's where Badminton New Zealand's doing a really good job, so they're reinforcing that message as well. They've sort of introduced a new selection policy where they're looking really long term, which I believe is a really, really good step because we've already identified them and we've already addressed the problems before they become an issue.
With the support and infrastructure slowly taking shape, Fu feels confident enough to plan her long-term future in the sport.
Probably when I get to university, I might slow down my course and start playing badminton more. My short-term goal is probably making the World Juniors team this year, going to Peru and playing there. My long-term goal is probably playing in Commonwealth.
Sally Fu is a great example of where badminton is heading in New Zealand. If she continues to progress her game, the sport looks to have a bright future in the country. Let's find out what's happening on the international circuit in our Badminton Unlimited calendar. Next week on Badminton Unlimited, we return to Dubai to talk to world number 1 Saina Nehwal about developing the sport in the Emirati. See you next week.